My mom was brutally attacked by a serial killer, and she knew she was fucking cooked.
No, I wish you were more interesting, I guess.
Oh, damn. Well, that's a shitty thing to say, Erica.
She made the decision right then and there that she was going to quit this show.
I feel how I feel. What am I supposed to do?
We're gonna get a cast photo.
I'm out.
Oh no.
I'm not.
What?
I'm
For
not.
real?
What?
Nope, I'm not doing it.
Garcelle, that's really unprofessional.
Imagine that surprised you that it hit such a nerve.
It did. It wasn't something that was that, like, inflammatory. But I guess it was.
To her.
Yeah.
You, Erica. You.
I'm assuming they will put a new cast member in.
Lisa Rinna is sharing a disturbing story about her mother who was attacked by a famous killer. While her story is terrifying, it seems like Lisa is trying to weasel her way back into the Real Housewives show. And the fact that there was a coordinated attack on Garcelle that forced her out makes it look like Kyle and Erica and everyone else was in on the job. So let's get into it. Now, we don't get into Real Housewife drama too often, but when we do, we go hard. And today, I want to talk about what's going on between Garcelle, Erica, but I wanted to start off with Lisa Rinna. I know she is a former housewife, but there are rumors that she's coming back. And she recently told a story that really caught my attention because her mother was brutally attacked by a serial killer. It almost doesn't sound real, and I don't know why Lisa is talking about this now, but it is quite a story. Now, her mother, Lois, who died at age 93, she actually survived the attack, had an encounter with David Carpenter, aka the Trailside Killer, in 1960, which led to his arrest and 7 years of prison. Only 7 years. She opened up about the terrifying incident, saying, "My mom, when she was 30 years old, was brutally attacked by a serial killer. We didn't know he was a serial killer at the time, but it turned out he was." She claimed that she started to think about this story again because someone close to her told her that they were working on a documentary about the serial killer. And I don't know if like her mother would be part of that. I mean, I guess so, because she was the encounter that led to him being arrested. Now, the Trailside Killer was convicted of 7 unalivings, but he has also taken like ownership of an 8th, and he's suspected of 2 more. So 10 people. Lisa described her mother's encounter as dangerous. She worked with him. He stuttered, so she felt sorry for him, but was always nice to him. Wait, that is crazy that she worked with him. Here's what happened. She was at the bus stop. They lived in San Francisco. She didn't have a car, so she took the bus, and she was going to the dentist in the morning, maybe before work. She says that this guy, the Trailside Killer, David Carpenter, drives up and says, "Hey, Lois, can I give you a ride? I'd love for you to come see my new baby." He had a baby and was married. She declined the offer, but he kept pushing until she eventually accepted. Which, if you feel fine and comfortable walking, just say no to a ride, because there are creeps just like this still out here nowadays. She shares that they started driving, and all of a sudden she started to feel weird, of course, because it didn't feel right. And all of a sudden he's talking to her and he's not stuttering. That's when she knew. And she said, "David, what's going on?" And he said, "I don't know, Lois. Sometimes something funny comes over me." And she knew she was effing cooked. Lisa went on to explain that he drove her mother to a deserted road and began to attack her. He straddles my mom. My mom's in the passenger seat, grabs a knife out of the glove box, and all of a sudden he goes at her with a knife. Now, a TikToker got more details on exactly what happened to Lisa's mother, and here's the clip.
Lisa Rinna grew up knowing that her mom had metal plates in her head and that she didn't have a sense of smell. But it wasn't until she was 18 years old that she learned the real reason why. Lisa brought this up on her podcast recently because her Pilates instructor has another client who is a producer, and they're considering a project about David Carpenter, aka the Trailside Killer. Lisa said that her mom was living in San Francisco, and when she was 30 years old, she encountered Carpenter because they worked together. Her mom, Lois, recalled that he had a stutter, and so she felt sorry for him, so she always tried to be nice to him. Her mom didn't have a car, so she was waiting at the bus stop one morning to go to an appointment, and then that's when David pulled up and said, "Hey, can I give you a ride?" He said to her, "I would love for you to come meet my new baby." Lois initially declined, but he kept pushing until she accepted the offer. They started driving, and all of a sudden, Lois started to feel really strange because the situation didn't feel right. All of a sudden, she realizes he's talking to her and he's not stuttering, and that's when she knew. Lois said something like, "David, what's going on?" And he said, "I don't know, Lois. Sometimes something funny comes over me." And on the podcast, Lisa goes, "And she knew she was fucking cooked." He then started driving up a deserted road and began brutally attacking.
You know what's worse than getting injured? Fighting with the insurance company afterwards. They will often stall, delay, and lowball you because their goal is to pay you as little as possible because they are not on your side. That's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. They are the largest injury law firm in America with over 1,000 attorneys and millions of clients served. They've secured billions of dollars for settlements and verdicts, including a $26 million payout in Philadelphia, 40 times more than what the insurance company originally offered. And the best part about Morgan & Morgan is that they don't charge anything up front. There is no consulting fee, there's no hourly rate, there's no hidden cost by going and getting them to help you out. So if you've been hurt in an accident, Morgan & Morgan has your back if you become their client. You can go to forthepeople.com/Sloan or scan the QR code on the screen to start your claim now. You probably could get it submitted before this video is even over with, and it's not going to hurt to go and figure out how much you are owed. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. So she says she grabs it with her hand. The knife is coming at you and she grabs it, so it slices her 2 fingers, so they're like dangling. Oh, the imagery, I cannot. That is when a military policeman started coming up the road leading to where this incident was going down, where he started to attack her with a hammer. Lisa explained if it weren't for the officer, her mother would have most likely passed away. The military policeman shoots David in the stomach. She says, quote, "This is the creepiest, weirdest part of it all. Lois is in full shock. He hit her at least 5 times on the head with a hammer. Her fingers are dangling. Her purse spills out. She opens the car door and somehow her purse spills out and she's so busy picking up the items to put it back in her purse. Her head is like gushing blood. Oh, she's totally in shock, but all she wants to do is put her things back into her purse." And her mother ended up staying in the hospital for 3 months because of these injuries.
Was convicted for the attack and spent 7 years in prison, and then after another prison stint for kidnapping, he began his serial killer spree in 1979. And when he went on trial for that, Lois testified, and Lisa was about 21 years old and she went to watch. Lois spoke about this on a 2019 episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, Lisa didn't find out the real story of what happened to her mom until she was 18 years old. But she knew about the metal plates and that she didn't have her sense of smell, and her mom was like, "Oh, a boy when I was little hit me in the head." And she just made up a story, but she also says that her mom was really protective of her growing up.
Lisa's mother isn't the only family member close to her who have experienced this kind of trauma. I mean, or at least something traumatic. At least I would describe this as slightly traumatic, because her father actually passed away in an assisted unaliving. Now, I forget that this is legal, but her father's name is Frank, and he died in 2016 at the age of 94. And he chose to die. Frank died in Oregon, and it looks like Oregon has this Death with Dignity Act, which allows terminally ill patients to end their lives. Lisa's husband, Harry, said in Oregon, you're permitted to check out when you want to check out. He was 94 and his quality of life had diminished to the point where he wanted to transition. You can do that in Oregon if you follow the right guidelines and the protocols and talk to the right number of doctors. Lisa added that you have to have 2 doctors that sign off on your terminal illness, so to speak. Which is so crazy to think that like you go to all these doctors like preparing to just die. Lisa said you want to support what they want to do, but you're going to watch your parents unalive themselves. That's what we're doing, but he wanted it so badly. She claims that he passed 45 minutes after drinking the medication. They just go to sleep, by the way. She said it's not gruesome and it was very peaceful. My head is spinning talking about death because I can only handle so much. So I want to talk about a little bit more of the drama happening on the housewives, the ones that are currently in the cast and some who may not be sometime soon. Because it seems like Garcelle is not too happy. And I actually see Garcelle sometimes out in West Hollywood. She feels like she was in the hot seat during this reunion and she wanted to get out of that room. There was so much tension. She said, I can't have an opinion. I can't say how I feel. I just have to go along. Just go along. Everyone can go F themselves. I don't care.
I'm glad that for her own peace of mind that Garcelle walked off that reunion set. She made the decision right then and there that she was going to quit this show. There was no reason for her to still be in the presence of cigarette breath, pool house renter, and confused. She was done. Peace.
Now, during the reunion, Erica challenged Garcelle, saying that she was boring to the cast and they want to follow her dating life and see what she's up to. But that's something that Garcelle draws the line on. She doesn't want her romantic life involved with TV, which I can understand why. One of Garcelle's major issues was Kyle this season because she has a lot of romantic rumors surrounding Morgan. We all know that there's something going on there. I mean, Morgan was part of the show in one season and then the next she she just completely disappears. So it didn't really make sense why she was part of the storyline and then no longer. Garcelle was quoted saying, we're just supposed to pretend like this is not happening, that you're not having this, relationship. I mean, Kyle's gone through a lot of change since Mauricio. Kyle explained that she's trying to be respectful of Morgan's wishes, yet I do think that Morgan likes the attention. I mean, Kyle says she didn't sign up for the show, and it seems like their issues somewhat stem from Garcelle's lesbian comment and Kyle calling her an asshole. Dorit also came for Garcelle, saying that she has an obsession with her 2021 home invasion. Garcelle has implied multiple times that she believes Dorit set up her home invasion, like burglars coming to her house, which I think would be crazy. I mean, I don't know if that's to add a storyline. Like, could you imagine hiring 3 people to come break in and then to steal something so that you could be more interesting? I mean, I would hope that she would never do that.
I felt like it
Hallelujah,
was a
because
setup.
you've not stopped talking about it since it happened, Garcelle.
Not stop talking about it. I talked about it.
Literally.
You feel it was a setup?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I cannot imagine, I feel like, do you guys remember, when I had my attack? If someone tried to claim that was a setup, I would be so disgusted and mad. So, I mean, if it's not a setup here, then I would understand why Dorit's, pissed off. Girl, who do you think you are?
I feel how I feel. What am I supposed to do?
It's based on nothing.
No, it's based on me
Nothing.
feeling. It's just my instincts.
Right, your instinct.
Okay.
And maybe she's up to something. I mean, I think about families like the Ace family, who's a YouTube family, and they faked a burglary, a robbery type thing. So there are people who do this, and maybe Garcelle is onto something.
There is no evidence or fact or any reason whatsoever
Then I'm
for
wrong.
you to draw that conclusion.
Then I'm wrong.
Yet, you can say it so casually, not considering once how that might make me, my husband, our family feel whatsoever about something as traumatic as that.
Now, Garcelle, it feels like she's just not really getting along with anyone on the cast. It's unfortunate. I mean, even at the end of the reunion, she was out of there.
Yes! That's great! Cheers! Perfect! Well,
He's like, let's get a group photo and watch how she reacts.
guess what? We're gonna get a cast photo.
I'm out.
Oh no!
I'm not.
What?
I'm
For
not.
real?
What? More stuff?
Nope, I'm not doing it.
The drama. But I understand, she's probably pissed everyone came at her. I don't want a picture with you guys.
Garcelle, that's really unprofessional. That's not cool. Garcelle.
A lot of people were siding with Garcelle, saying, you know what? It hit 5 o'clock. It's time to wrap up. I'm out of there. I'm not doing any side work taking these pictures. It's my time to go. And you know what? I mean, I do feel like the housewives do have to stand up to Andy sometimes because he is their boss. Now, since the reunion, Garcelle is not going to come back. Kyle even came forward confirming that Garcelle is ignoring her text messages, and she's announced her departure. Garcelle hasn't spoken to any of the cast much since leaving. She felt like she deserved a lot better from those ladies, and her walking away is a large part due on how they were treating her. She is done. She doesn't talk to any of them. Even Sutton wasn't as real of a friendship as she thought it was, so it was a letdown. Now, I have a blind item that might shed light on some things. April 4th, 2025, the attack on the actress housewife was coordinated, and the C-list housewife with the iconic hairstyle, Lisa Rinna, and the dirty house was part of it. A meeting took place before the reunion. The token housewife knew it was going to happen. So this kind of seems like Lisa Rinna's trying to get her way back into the cast, and she's trying to get Garcelle out of there to make some space. This tweet reads, Lisa Rinna, and it makes a lot of sense that she wants to be back on the show so bad so she can act like she doesn't want to, but we all know the truth. Another person adds, it obviously was a planned attack. Erica's use of the word we only proved it. Such mean girls. When Curry writes, after Garcelle announced that she was leaving, the dirty housewife Rinna posted FF5 forever, and one of the housewives either liked it or reposted it. So yeah, I believe she was in on it. She lies, and she wants back on the show. Another tweet reads, I believe this. Dorit said that she spoke to her before coming back, and she gave her advice on how to navigate the season. So yeah, they had a meeting with Rinna before the reunion too. Guess she's still running the show, even though she's not on it. Zexter writes, fully aware of their collaborated handiwork, it was so obvious. They're still despicable. Another person writes, Lisa Rinna and the rest were incredibly jealous of Denise Richards for two big reasons. They were afraid that she would be the most popular housewife on the show, and there were rumors of her getting her own show. They're so jealous they decided to take her down together. Another person asks, I wonder if Garcelle realizes this, that they probably coordinated this attack. Now, one of the housewives who's speaking out in addition to Kyle is Erica Jane. She says Garcelle left the show and people have to do what feels right for them. So now she's trying to play nice.
Do you know something?
No, I wish it were more interesting, I guess.
Oh, damn. Well, that's a shitty thing to say, Erica.
I imagine that surprised you that it hit such a nerve.
It did. Because it wasn't something that was that, like, inflammatory. But I guess it was.
To her.
Yeah.
What did you make of? She had...
Actually, I wonder, I just had a memory. So I was actually in an episode of The Real Housewives. I was also featured in the trailer. If you guys go see me, I was wearing a green tank top. I was at the party they had at the Viper Room.
A lot of smoke for you backstage, but not to your face.
Yes. Yes, that's kind of the way it seems to go.
That's the way it goes, okay.
You, Erica. You.
Where do you think the group goes from here? Because it is going to be a readjustment if Garcelle's out, possible other cast changes. What's your dream vision for season 15 of The Housewives?
Well,
Season 15, wow. I remember like watching this when I was in like high school.
I don't know. You know, that's up to production network. Like, that's where they see the vision. I'm assuming they will put a new cast member in.
But you want to go back.
I'm going back until it no longer serves myself or Housewives.
I mean, she knows how to make good TV, I guess. You know, they're all so dramatic. I mean, you know who I'd like to see as a housewife? I would like to see Heidi Montag as a housewife. I think she would be great, especially because she's got like the storyline of like rebuilding her home after the fires. She's got her music career. That would like make TV interesting again. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video and let me know what you think of the Bravo content. I know a lot of people are not going to tune into this one, but I enjoy it. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye guys.